watching it this week? Ready to go? Yeah, John. Oh. Yeah, I'll be right there, man. Good job.
Listen to me, baby, 'cause it ain't no sin I'm trying to be. Don't holler. Baby, let's shake 'em on down. Now, there ain't no need to holler. Baby, let's shake 'em on down.
Discussion, an open forum talk show where we discuss what you discuss. We're brought to you live from Studio 3 on Middle Country Road in the heart of Selden's flourishing business district. With me tonight is my first guest is a local artist who resides in Selden, and her unique art is she makes things out of recyclable items. And her name is Miss Joy Hill. Miss Hill, how did you get involved?
I don't like it. No good.
I know.
You screwed up too many times.
I know.
No, I mean you screwed up like 3, 4 times because you started something that you never finished. A local resident, la la la.
I know. I kept realizing.
And then you did a whole bunch of different things because you're nervous. Relax.
Yes,
I know.
yeah, we have to do that.
I was trying to remember all the stuff I was trying to.
Yeah, remember, it's your show. You're in control. You don't care about these people. That's the whole thing. You know?
Right. We have to act natural.
If you act nervous,
Right.
that gives them the power. Then they're home go, hate them.
You're
They
right.
send hate mail.
Right.
If you sit there like, you know, very arrogant and cocky.
You don't have to be that respectable. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
You got
In the middle.
All right.
Hello, and welcome to Frank Discussion, an open forum talk show where we discuss what you discuss. With me tonight is my first guest, Miss Joy Hill, a local artist from Selden, who I already screwed it up because I.
You know what it is? You got to say that I make art out of trash. Stop this recyclable stuff. You know, just say she makes art out of trash, and she'll explain to you what she does or something like that.
I forgot the whole thing about the Selden business district.
Okay. Oh God.
Hello, and welcome to Frank Discussion, an open forum talk show where we discuss what you discuss. We're brought to you live from Studio 3 on Middle Country Road in the heart of the flourishing Selden business district. With me tonight is my first guest, Miss Joy Hill, a local Selden artist her talent is to make things out of trash. Miss Hill, how did you get involved in your particular type of art?
Well, I guess that you could say it sort of happened by accident. It was some of the people that I met.
Some of the people you met?
Yes.
You met trash, people with trash?
No. See, what really happened was someone came to me, like a friend of mine, a friend of an old boyfriend, was a homeless person.
Okay.
And he didn't have a place to go. He was coming out of a rehab center, and he asked me, you know, since he had no home, could he please just come and stay at my house for a little while until he got a job and until he got himself settled.
Okay.
And he thought I didn't have any furniture in the house. I'd just been divorced. I was there all by myself.
So
I had a house without furniture. Okay.
Okay.
So what I did is, you know, he said, well, that's no problem. We'll get you some furniture right off the street. So he
just brought in.
No, what we did is he'd set the alarm. He'd tell me, you got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, and we'd set the alarm. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, he'd have me stalking all over the neighborhood with him, and he'd say, you like this? You know,
And you went around to people's trash?
Yeah, people, like, you know, spring cleanup time or something like that, you know. And they'd have all this stuff out all over the street that they were getting rid of, and he'd say, this looks good, we'll bring it back to your house. And he gave me, you know, and there might be like bags of different things there too. And he'd bring this back, and then he'd search all through it, and you know, there I would be with a pile of trash on my floor. And
trash, such as like ashtrays, chairs, or you know,
well,
what type
you
of...
know, anything like even craft items. You know what I'm saying? Like little baskets, and people throw out dolls, baskets. They throw out china items. They throw out, you know, grandma's old needle points. They throw out the darndest things.
So now in your house you now have all this trash that has just been collected. So what have you, and you now was able to transform that into art itself?
Yes, well, you see, what I found out later is that most homeless men are artists on the side.
Oh,
And
really?
this particular fellow was an artist, and he could take anything and, you know, sort of like transform it into a beautiful work of art, and so he sort of taught me to do this.
And so now you've transformed, from what I understand from what we were talking backstage, you mentioned that your house is all filled with art that was found through the garbage?
Well,
or made
there
out of
isn't
items that
there
were...
practically isn't a thing in my house that I didn't get for free. Because,
That's
I mean, you know, it's
amazing.
either something that we found on the street, you know, like an article of furniture we found on the street, or you know, like even curtains, believe it or not. I got them rod and all. And put them right out.
With the rods and everything.
Yes, rods and everything. Well, the rods might have been a different time, you know, we might have scrounged in a different time. It's not like people threw their curtains out on their rods, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
understand.
Although that happened too, but once that happened. But, you know, it's just that, you know, you collect different things and then you put it all together, you know?
This would be
And you get so much extra stuff that I get, you know, I get going and I make it color coordinated. And, you know, like if I don't want an orange item, I toss that out, back out on the street, you know? And you have to...
When you toss it out, aren't you afraid, do you have to like tag it? Aren't you afraid that someone might like...
recognize their thing? No,
return
I
it
put it out in garbage bags right out, you know.
Oh, so it doesn't get returned to you again?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, in other words, you know, with my trash, my regular trash, I throw the stuff out. But what I mean is, I have to have things a certain color, you know. Like if it's all beige in one room, I'm going to throw out the red curtains, you know. Or you get extra stuff is what I'm trying to say.
Now this homeless person, well, is this person who was down on his luck, does he still reside at your house, or?
No, he's, you know, he's since gone on and he resides in another person's house now, you know. He just was there for a little while, around 7 months.
Have you brought in other other people from the street since then?
Well, there was one other person, yes, another homeless person, and this person also was like a great scrounge artist. Meaning,
scrounge, I love that word.
I know, I love the word scrounge too.
It's first mentioned backstage, I love that word.
Yes, don't you love the word scrounge? I know.
It has a little bit of trash, you know.
Yeah,
Just scrounge. So she's a scrounge artist.
You could call us scrounge engineers if you want, you know what I mean? No, but you know, you just take this, you take anything that you get and you use your imagination and you say, you know, what can I do with this thing, you know? And when you take parts from one thing, for instance, lamps, you know? Okay. All right, we have all sorts of different lamp parts. We've got, one time Gregory scrounged a bunch of chimneys for lamps.
That's the person who's residing now? Or
no, that's the
original
first
person?
Original person, right. Okay, he scrounged a whole bunch of, you know, chimneys. And
oh, you mean a lamp?
Lamp, you know, like a...
Is that the little glass?
The little glass tops, yeah, right. A whole bunch of those, you know.
Just for our audience, so it's
right. But, you know, we can rob Peter to pay Paul. In other words, we can take apart from one thing and put it on another thing. We can combine, you know what I mean? And a lampshade from one lamp will go on another one.
So your whole house is furnished. Sofas, and from what I understand what you were telling me earlier also, sofas and chairs and everything's all...
Yes.
Wow.
And believe it or not, in the first time with the first homeless man, he didn't have a car at that particular time. He now does have a car, but we used to walk around the neighborhood. He used to carry chairs home.
How far are you talking when you said carry?
It wasn't so far. Like you could just go
within a couple of blocks.
Within a couple of blocks, right?
Oh,
but as I said, he'd have me out there at 3 a.m. in the morning looking for stuff, you know, and that right in my neighborhood.
Maybe this house sounds very interesting. Maybe we should send a film crew if you wouldn't mind. Maybe we can film your house.
No, I don't mind at all.
How would you like it, audience? Yeah, maybe next week we can have a film crew out there and we can bring it back and take a look at furniture and everything all made from scraps.
Yeah, that's right. In other words, also the idea behind my theme is don't be wasteful. In other words,
you're trying to be like environmentally conscious.
Yes. In other words, things that other people throw out, maybe you could use.
That's like the old saying. One person's garbage is another person's treasure.
That's right. You know, so if with a little imagination, and a little patience too, you know, you can transform a lot of things. And you don't have to worry even if they're broken a little bit. For example, once I got a lamp that somebody gave me, and it was, you know, it was like cracked in the center. So you know what I did? I took a bunch of flowers and I stuck it right in the crack, and it looks like it's supposed to be there, and like it's a vase.
Is that?
And that's one of my favorite lamps.
So that lamp is on display at your house, so we'll have to make sure we have that.
Yes. Yeah, that's the
that on
lamp's
film.
on display.
Oh,
And
this should be an interesting film. Would you come back again maybe next week to introduce the film, you know, to the audience?
well, I just love to. You know, I'd really enjoy it. And as I say, I'm really into this. I enjoy it,
And I'm
and
sure
I spend
our audience
hours
would just-
trying to you give me your trash, and you know, I'll make a thing of beauty out of it.
If anyone would like to get more information on Miss Joy Hill, you can write to us at the station. It's Frank Discussion, P.O. Box 330, Selden, New York, 11784. Again, I'd like to thank you for being on the show.
It was my pleasure. I enjoyed
My
it.
station hands tell me we have to go to a commercial break, so maybe we'll see her again by next week. Soon to cable, another cop show.
Right on time, right?
No, you're already into the second half of the show.
Well, no, I mean, but for the second half, I'm right
Oh,
on
yeah.
time now.
No, we've already just started.
How you doing? Oh, man.
Okay,
It's cold out there.
that's my co-host, Tom McNulty,
How you doing?
and I'm Dave Glassman, as I've said before. For those of you just tuning in, this is the second half of the show. Our first half, we just had Miss Joy Hill on. She was a local Selden artist who specializes in trash art.
Yes, good day.
Tom, I need to ask why you want to, you weren't here for the first,
I felt a little funny.
because she takes in homeless people, and is that why?
Well, I guess that's sort of that's kind of part of it. I mean, when I first heard that she was booked for the show, I was very proud, because I'm part of this show. So it's like I sort of did good. I did good, and I want her to know that I did good in life.
Are you familiar with Miss Hill? I mean, she's from the area, you know, from.
Yes, I'm very familiar with Miss Hill. She was my English teacher from school in 7th grade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to school. Sure, I went to school.
I didn't.
No,
I figured you went to school. I mean, we all go to school.
Yeah, I had to fill out a hell of a lot of papers to get on SSI. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
qualify for it. Sure. It's,
No, I
it's
didn't
not
know
an
she
easy
was
thing to
running
do. It's
teachers.
quite an accomplishment to get the SSI.
Well, what teacher was she?
What teacher was she?
Yeah, what subject?
Substitute or something? English, and she was a full-time teacher.
She taught you English.
I'll tell you, a lot of us had a crush on Miss Hill. She's a very, very attractive woman. And
Okay.
she used to wear these little skirts. You know,
Oh,
it was like The Graduate. It was a kind of a fantasy thing of mine.
Would you like a drink?
I'd love a drink.
Okay.
But in response to what you were saying, I wanted to like talk to her and let her know like you know, how did I turn out? You know, like I got my own show now, or you know, I'm hosting the show, and you know, it wasn't just her. It was a couple of teachers said, you know, you'd never amount to anything.
Take
My
milk
grades
and sugar?
weren't really that good. What are we drinking here?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Oh yeah. We had a
what's-
call after last week's show from an audience viewer, and yeah, they were
gentleman,
offended.
Steve. He called a few times. Steve, is that the gentleman?
That's the one. And he was a little offended by the fact that we're drinking. and
Drinking
stuff.
on camera, so much drinking.
We are trying to, you know, do what our audience, you know,
Well, that's
expects
really
of us,
great.
you know. So,
Well,
milk and here's some sugar.
I think it's a good thing that you're so responsive to your audience.
Well, that's, you know, what local access is about.
One individual can, you know, actually uproot and change the entire format of the show. Thank you, Steve. You know, it's good to know that, you know, there are people out there that have nothing better to do than call up and complain about the show. Thank you. So,
There's the milk and there's some
but no,
sugar.
it's true. You know, it's a serious matter. We're on a serious show, and if it offends just one person, our
Yes.
drinking offends just only one little person.
We have sandwiches if you'd like.
Yeah,
Sloppy Joes?
sure.
Okay. Just bear with us, you know, this is every show like this.
So what's this rundown on Steve? What is he, a priest or something? What's his story?
I don't know, our secretary spoke with him mostly.
Well, no, he probably wouldn't be a priest, because priests I know drink.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
Okay, so
So anyway, I wanted to meet her, but you know, when I saw the talent coordinator talking to her the one day, she didn't see me though. I was in the other room, and they were talking about all these homeless guys and how artistic they are, and they're bringing her stuff and all that stuff, and you know, they were nice enough. You know, they tell me that next week I'm going to be at her house. I'm going to be filming the thing, so I will be involved in this.
oh yeah, because we were just setting that
Yeah.
up. You know, we mentioned that.
They said that I'd be perfect for it. You know, I never really did any remote interviews before, but
Well, we're trying to get you, you know, into the
More
field
of
of
a- Sure,
television. I mean,
sure.
I've paid my dues. I've done my leg work, and we're filming. Since we just brought you in on this, give
great.
budding new talent here. We'll start.
And also I'll see her then.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay.
But I do kind of feel funny because you know, I don't have any art to give her, and I don't do anything artistic on my own, you know, other than this TV show. So this is all I do.
Okay.
My thing.
Just coming out as ago. Sunday, we went to Eastside Comedy Club to see Mr. Ed Lowe.
That was so good. That was a good show.
It was
Oh
a great show.
man, it was a good show.
We went only because on our last show, we mentioned how Howard sent us photos and Marvin Kidman sent us photos, and we had mentioned that Ed Lowe called but didn't send a photo. And then Ed Lowe called us after that show, very upset, saying, "I waited 2 hours at the bar, waiting for you to get it."
He doesn't drink though. What does he drink? He drinks
on the show, he was drinking O'Doul's, which is a non-alcoholic.
probably what
beer.
we'll be drinking on this show now. That's why we're going to drink to the show now.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey.
you, Steve.
Thank you. So we went to the show. Unbeknownst to him, he doesn't know. He didn't know that
Right.
we're the ones that he'd spoken to on the phone. We sat table right up against the stage.
Yeah, but you were pulling rank there because you mentioned you had a TV show.
No,
You did do that. I mean, you didn't mention to Miss. You didn't.
Oh, I didn't mention to Mr. Lowe.
No, but to people running Eastside Comedy Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Of course,
so,
I had.
yeah. He didn't forget that though.
Yeah.
They had great seats.
Great seat. We were right there at the stage. In fact, Mr. Lowe even chose me to help out during his act. He gave me a pen he wanted me to write down, anytime he goes off on another tangent while doing his act, he wanted me to write down what the last thought was before he went off a thought. This way, should he ever need to, I can help him get back on track.
And that was on camera. You had 2 cameras set up.
Yeah, there were 2 cameras set up, filming the whole incident.
I want to get a copy of that tape. That was some funny stuff. We've been to Westbury. Dave and I have gone to see
Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay, Joe Piscopo when Howard Stern was there with the whole crew. Joe, that was going back. Got Howard's interview then. It was one of the first times we met Howard actually. This guy is really great. I couldn't believe it because you read his article.
This was his first time ever doing stand-up. I mean, he's been a newspaper reporter for, about 24 years. He was a teacher before that. Wow, another teacher, yeah.
That's right. We're going with that theme tonight.
Teachers as former careers.
Yeah, that's
So,
exactly right.
Yeah. Well, he left teaching because he was telling some stories about how he made a 7th grade class, about 14 students in the class cry because he picked on this one person,
There's a lot more to it though.
Oh, there was a lot more to it. I'm not going to start going into the
It
whole
was so
story.
funny.
I could take up hours telling the whole story. Me telling the whole
Changes
story
from his day when you weren't even allowed to talk in front of the locker to now when kids are asked not to make love in front of their locker. A lot of things. He said he was the youngest teacher. He said some of his students had probation officers older than him. It was a lot of funny stuff, and it just rolled and time flew by. It really did. That's when we got off the drinking. That's when we first got on the wagon. We drink freely wherever we go, wherever it's offered, wherever it's free. Actually, is what I mean to say. But they had this thing, the 2-drink minimum thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were a little low on our funds also, but we had to pay a cover to get into the show. So now we pay a cover, and now we're sitting at the table, and there's 2-drink minimum per person. We have to pay pay for 4 drinks. I don't get that. I can see either having a cover or having a 2-drink minimum. Not both.
No, we were drinking at the bar.
Yeah, we drank at the bar. That's why we spent a lot of our money drinking at the bar, waiting for the show to begin. And here we are coming in. It's like, now we're forced to have to purchase 2 more drinks. Oh, we did fight it.
To sit at the table. You did.
Oh yeah, I told the lady.
I'm the designated driver.
Yeah, because I said he doesn't have a license, and he was telling me he's on AA, so he can't drink. That's what we told the lady.
Good.
I was like, well, I'll buy the drinks if you force me to drink, and I get pulled over, and I say, well, I was forced to drink, but, you know, so, but he's like, well, don't worry, I don't think management's going to enforce it. Yeah, don't worry about it. And she let, she's, oh, sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I hate interrupting somebody during their show.
Okay.
It's like the rudest thing to do. You know, I try to not to be so rude. But,
So Mr. Lowe was a little, so getting back to the original something I'm doing with Mr. Lowe, asked us to
give me a pen and paper. I'll write down the figure
Oh, no, I'm going to have to.
And we were this close to him,
Yeah,
too.
we were this close to Mr. Ed Lowe.
Fine.
In fact, we took pictures afterward. And it's funny because
Great
Mr.
pictures.
Lowe did not, see, he was told, but he didn't happen to watch that particular show. He hasn't watched our show yet.
No, we'll get him a copy of this show.
So someone had told him about the comment that was made. So he himself does not know what we look like. He just knows us from phone conversations. So it's going to be pretty.
We're going to spring it on him.
Oh yeah, we're going to spring it on him because now he's going to be watching.
So it should be interesting.
It's understood that now he's going to be watching this show, and
Man,
now he's
it's
going to
so
see
funny.
us on and be like, "That's the guys in the comedy club sat in like, you know, like
See, a lot of people don't know who he is, I'm sure.
he writes for Newsday."
I read a lot. So I know who Marvin Kipman is, and a lot of
Oh, you
people
do
probably
a lot
out
of
there
reading when
do.
you're sleeping on the newspaper.
Well, you read. You know, you wait for buses, you wait, whatever. You read. It's something to do for the mind. And especially when you have your own talk show. A lot of people out there that have your own talk shows will know what I'm talking about. So anyway, you read the column, and it's all about Long Island stuff, things that are happening on Long Island. Like our show. Our show caters to people on Long Island. Like our first guest tonight was a perfect example.
Hill.
She's so tight. I mean,
Long
yeah,
Island, in fact, right
it's
from
an
our
art
town.
thing, right? Yeah, it's an art thing she does, and she's from our town, and the thing, and it's about our town. The people in our town are throwing out all that stuff.
Well,
But I mean, it's a very Long Island thing. What we're doing, and Eddie's material at Mr. Lowe was all Long Island humor, and it was hilarious. I wish I could get a copy of that. I really.
well, we did take pictures that the other night, and we had them developed. This one's just the outside of Eastside Comedy Club. Is Ed Lowe's car.
I believe so.
Yeah, we
But
believe-
somebody told me that it was his car.
Just pictures of Ed while he was performing. And of course I had to get a picture. Of course Tom showered up that night.
Yeah. Well, I'll be doing that when I go to my teacher's house, because I don't go the extra effort. It's just that I get on, and you're in the moment. You get right on camera. That's what I do. I mean, I could take time, and I could have makeup people. You got all that stuff here at the studio. Well, we're gonna have more at the new studio.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna be moving from the studio. In fact, did anyone check for the mail?
No, I didn't. I was going to.
Oh, one second.
I was about to. They get mad. Your people, your staff, will not let me go to the mailbox.
One second. I'll be right back. I have to go check.
Good. That intern, that guy Keith, is supposed to be doing that stuff. Close that door, you're letting a little cold air in.
Yeah, I don't want any fans walking in like they did the last time. Well, no, nothing important. It was just some
Garbage?
resident occupant type thing.
You qualified for money or something?
Yeah.
I got one of them the other day.
Yeah, that man letter. Yeah, I'm glad we're getting to the new studio. That mailbox has fallen for the last time.
Oh, I heard that, man.
Oh.
Make it the F troop. Remember how every show, like the tower falls, whatever?
Oh, it was just. I'm really tired of that. Yeah.
People ask me. I was recognized twice now, by a janitor and by somebody at 7-Eleven. How do we get the mailbox to fall the exact same way every time, like it's deliberate? It's not. We want the thing to stand up.
Well, I've recognized, a couple of times.
Yeah.
There was times right outside the studio.
Can't wait for the new studio.
There was times I was recognized right outside the studio. Oh yeah.
Our next show is contract negotiations. Yeah. We're doing a contract negotiation. So what are you going for? What are you asking for? New driver or something? What are you going for the works, right? The new studio?
I'm getting a limo.
You getting a limo?
I told him, either give me a limo, or I'm off the show.
I'm gonna push for something big too then on next week's show though.
Next week?
Yeah, because I have them. Because I'm the co-host. So if I refuse to go on,
Ooh, stomach's growing.
if I refuse to go on, who's the talent coordinator? I have to talk to about that.
Thomas. Thomas Carroll.
Carol, push over.
Yeah.
Because I got them. I know. I'm gonna sit there. I gotta think about this. This is gonna be something big. I'm gonna ask for.
Well, you got but the
Lunches. Well, they feed
Well, you
me
got to remember,
anyway.
I'm the host, so of course they're gonna give me,
Yeah, but the thing is, I could sabotage the whole show just by not going on. Well, I'll talk to him next week. We'll see what happens. I know you're the host, but I mean, at this point, we're so far into the show, they're not gonna replace me. So I mean, I'm gonna ask for something really. I'm gonna give him a hard time next week. So it's not against you. You know, I'm just gonna, you know, it's between me and management. So.
All right. Well,
So,
I can see.
I can't wait for that.
I can see we're coming to the end of the show, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. So this has been Frank Discussion, an open forum talk show where we discuss what you discuss. And if you'd like to write to us, you can write to us, care of the station, or Frank Discussion, P.O. Box 330, Selden, New York 11784. Or if you want to leave a message and maybe get one of us get back to you,
End of the show.
you can call it.
Stevie Boy. Oh, I'm sorry. Not completely the end of the show yet. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Never mind.
Did you bring? You have one?
Yeah, I bring my own. We'll wait till the cameras are off.
You can contact
in the
us.
morning to fool you, Stevie.
You can contact us at 516-696-5677. Frank Discussion, where we discuss what you discuss.